Hello again, and the articles continue. So, Mario Kart 8 outselling Mario Kart World as Nintendo price hike spark backlash. So looks like for Mario Kart World already peaked and is overshadowed by the past content. Hey, something like also happens to a lot of video games. Ah man, so well. Nintendo has a stress problem and it has in current year. The hottest quote-unquote new Mario Kart game isn't the one it just launched on its brand new console. Instead, it's a re-release that first showed up over a decade ago. Yes, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is outselling Mario Kart World on Switch too. And it's not even a new game for the Nintendo Switch, it's a fucking remaster, man. The headline alone should have Nintendo worried. The company just rolled out its most powerful console yet, and with Mario Kart World bundled as a premier title, but players appear to be clinging to the older installment. The reasons, price, nostalgia, and timing play a role. So at this point, everyone has a Nintendo Switch. To be honest, I don't have Mario Kart 8, and I play other type of racing games. I played Breakfast in the Nintendo Switch. Actually, it's enjoyable. They did actually pour all at least the attention to detail. The graphics you could say they are kind of low unless you are connecting the console to the dock. But when it comes to the damage physics on Breakfast, yeah, they are fucking glorious. At least they did a good job porting the game and actually optimizing it, which we cannot say the same for most of those games, and also Nintendo Switch is in the same issue with the Switch 2. Let's continue. On Razer, new victory. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe top sell charts. Despite being repackaged Wii U game that hit the Switch in 2017, the Switch 2 biggest launch title, Mario Kart World has cost more than 5.6 million copies sold so far, bolstered by bundled systems. But people need to remember that these copies are because they sold it on the console. And even though they was a selling point, this is because they want the console with that game instead of having only the console. But its own the games is outpacing the predecessors, which is remarkable considering World is supposed to be Nintendo's bold leap forward in the franchise. Gamers are essentially saying if you want to charge $80 for a new entry, they'd rather pay less for a proven classic that still runs beautifully. Still, it doesn't help that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe comes loaded with years of DLC, polished gameplay, and reputation as one of Nintendo's most beloved racers. That's true. The price hike controversy and adding fuel to the fire is Nintendo's unexpected decisions this summer to raise price on older Switch hardware and accessories. Yeah, we covered that one. Even paying $70 for fucking GameCube, Wii, Wii U older games. Nah, fuck you. That's right, at the same moment a new console is hitting shelves, the last gen system actually went up in price. The standard Switch jumping from $300 to $340. The OLED model leaped from 350 to 400. And the live model from 200 to 230. And Joy-Cons and other accessories saw smaller but noticeable increases. Yeah, I saw it. Even I saw it in places where I can get one of those. Yeah, they increased the price. Yeah, fucking Nintendo, man. This unorthodox move typically when a new console generation is launched, the older machines becomes more affordable as companies clear out stock. But looks like that stock it's the want to be the one making them more money compared to the new stuff. Just like what's happening with Xbox and Sony with their piece nickel. And now they want to imitate the same formulas and Nintendo Switch 2 being a portable console, according to rumors. Which is hilarious that they need to copy that well. Portability is something that actually sells, but it's hilarious to me even mentioning quickly Sony. They used to have that one good with the PSP and they fucked it in the PS Vita. So let's continue. Switch 2 is still strong out of the gate. Despite the controversy, the Switch 2 is after a record-breaking start. Launched on June 5 of current year at 450, the console sold 3.5 million units over 4 days. By the end of June, that number has climbed to 5.8 million, and July pushed totals over 6 millions. By those metrics, the Switch 2 is Nintendo fastest selling console ever. But well, we also have seen that all the AAA games are flopping because of the game keycards. People that really want a Nintendo Switch rarely are going to pay for digital content. They would rather have the physical stuff. Um, yeah, with those game keycards, there is no point having all of those AAA games if they can easily go on PC. Just saying. It is. This fucking console also killed this third party market. And they refuse to accept it. So let's continue. And while Mario Kart World isn't the system's best-selling game, the updates of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still outselling are hard to ignore. Yeah, even the Nintendo's they are just shrieking. Well, to continue on, the bigger story here is what says about consumers' behavior. Video game fans are increasingly resistant to climbing prices, and an $80 base game is a total while inflation has already hit household budgets. That's true, inflation hit them, and they're not going to pay something $80 on something unless it's actually good. But if it's more of the same without part of the content that we used to have in the past and overpriced, nah. Either they put that on a sale discount or never getting it and playing something else. When paired with Nintendo's initial decisions to raise prices on all consoles, it makes sense that players might lean into a cheaper, more familiar alternative. Emulators is cheaper by a mile. In some ways, the mirrors what's happening across entertainment. People are just turning older, proven titles instead of spending more on the untested ones. Ah yes, and look what they did also with the updates. They also pissed off the ones that bought this game. Because the main selling part of Mario Kart World is going full Forza Horizon. Yeah, they wanted to imitate, they know innovate, and they just imitated what Forza Horizon was doing. But the thing is, the way how they actually do the sprint races, well, people just kinda got tired because of how exploitable those shortcuts were. They didn't talk about that one, right? And despite that, yeah, people were not having so much fun to recover compared to circuits, which was the main thing that, well, Mario Kart 8 actually outshines, and it's the proof that all of that experience carry on all over the years with Nintendo. That the best design in racing they had is through circuits, not sprint races. And what did they do? Well, they updated the game to only have sprint races, and not many one could play circuit races anymore in the online mode. This just puts you into perspective how they fuck up. Just as streaming audiences are rewatching comfort shows rather than new prestige dramas, gamers are racing back to try and true Mario Kart. Yeah, and also it's because circuits. The main point of Mario Kart is having all of these design circuits. No, not and they're open world. You can say, oh, there is collectibles. I'm fucking bored now of collectibles because when they do these open world racing games and the only thing they have to actually stretch out the core gameplay is doing fucking collectibles. Wasting like, I need to find this fucking collectible here. Nah, so wasting much time in a collectible that is not giving much of a significant reward. When people know in these details, they are just going to give the pause out of all of this. Is Nintendo goodwill running out? Well, they already run out that shit a long time ago. It's just Nintendrons. But at least the rest of the people are waking up. I want to believe that they're waking up. Nintendo has earned goodwill with fans through decades of trusted franchises, but risks squandering some of that trust. The Switch 2 is a hit, but Mario Kart World's relatively softer sales suggest that Pushing prices too high can backfire. Raising prices on updated hardware while charging more than ever for new games creates the appearance of squeezing consumers. No, they are squeezing consumers. Nostalgia only strengthens that sting. When people realize that they can get more fun or for less money from a game that's already 10 years old, the comparison becomes impossible to ignore. Just like the rest of video games fall into that category. Yeah, that's true. Nintendo may be in the lead with the new console, but the race for goodwill, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just left Mario Kart World eating dust. And let's see, because Nintendo are not going to stop consuming, but I want to see that there are less people buying it. And only time will tell because even having a console for its exclusives, but only that. But hey, I want some third party ones, and oh well, they did this fucking bullshit with the licensing for digital games, the game keycards, that the other developers are releasing broken ports. Should not be surprising that at that point, hey, I'm just going to get to a PC. And yet, even with this one, if you see an again appealing for all ages, man, what is that time? Hey, wait, when Crash Bandicoot used to have one, at least if you have some similarities, but actually pay attention to what's good to the what Nintendo used to do and replicate it. Oh well, even if I'm saying this, I will encourage people like that, but you have to be wary of fucking Nintendo because who knows, maybe they are going to put a patent that only a fucking mustache guy with a red hat can drive a car vehicle. Oh man, it's fucking Nintendo. Well, there you have it. Thanks for watching and please take care.